Welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sasha. This is a series I'm calling My Year of Cakes, where I have challenged myself to make as many cakes as I can this year with the goal of 50, just so I can try different techniques, flavors, something creative for me to do. I'm on mat leave right now, and I just thought this would be a fun thing for me to learn and to develop new skills, both in the kitchen and with baking, and also with filming and editing. So if you're interested in seeing what I get up to this year in the kitchen, you can subscribe. I'm also sharing grocery hauls, some what I eat in a day. This is still all quite new, so developing along the way. Anyways, this week in my Year of Cakes, I have been inspired by maple syrup. We went to our local sugar shack, Cabane, just not too far from us, and picked up 8 containers of maple syrup. We use a lot of maple syrup. We also picked up this maple butter, and from last season, I still have maple sugar. So I thought I should try and make a maple syrup cake. I don't have any maple extract, so I'm relying on the maple syrup altogether. This maple syrup that we have is an amber, and it's a lighter amber. I would have used dark if I had it. They didn't have any dark yet, but this is gonna work. So I wanna try making a maple syrup cake. And what does that mean? Well, I'm going to substitute the sugar for maple syrup, and I'm going to add some maple syrup into my buttercream. And I might put some of this in between a layer. I just, want to try something different. So if a maple syrup cake wasn't different enough for me, I'm gonna do it in this little tiny, cute little 4-inch cake tin. I haven't used this yet, and I picked this up the other day. I only picked up 1, but I really should have picked up 3 because then I could do 3-layer cake, but I picked up 1. So we are going to test it out. I have been doing some math today. I took my regular recipe and I have divided it. So I'm just using 1/4 of the recipe. I think that would work for this size of cake tin. So yeah, 1/4 of my typical vanilla cake recipe using maple syrup, and I am adding a bit of cake flour into it. A little bit of extra flour because the maple syrup is a liquid. So just trying to bounce, we're just testing things out. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm not sure, but sometimes it's just fun to have fun. Sometimes it's just fun to experiment in the kitchen and try out different things. So let's get started. I have already measured out, I've got 1/2 cup of oat milk. Into my oat milk, I'm going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of vinegar, and I'm just gonna measure it here. And I don't know where my 1/2 teaspoon measuring spoon has ended up. That was a little bit more. So this is 1/4, and that actually probably was, we'll just do a little bit more. I know baking's a science, but sometimes you just let it go, just have fun. Wet ingredients are off to the side. In this bowl, I have 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour and 2 tablespoons of cake flour. I'm gonna whisk these together. I have a little tiny whisk for my little cake that I'm making. This actually might even be too much cake batter. I don't know. Now I've got 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So we'll add that in here, whisk this in. Okay, that's all combined, put that to the side. Okay, it's been a little bit. I'm bringing my wet ingredients back over. I have 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And for my sugar, I guess I could use, for my sugar, I am torn between using my maple sugar that I have here or my maple syrup. Let's do a little bit of both. Yeah, let's do both. We're just experimenting today anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. I might just do a little bit less than that because I've just decided to add this. If you don't have maple sugar, I think you could probably get away with 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Okay, how much of this am I gonna do? I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of this sugar. So that's 1/2, 3/4. Okay, 1 teaspoon of this maple sugar. It smells good. And I'm gonna whisk this together. Now I'm going to combine, so I'm gonna pour in the wet ingredients into these dry ingredients. Just make sure I got everything nice and combined and bring this all together. Cake tin here, I've greased it, put a little bit of parchment in the bottom. I'm gonna pour this in. Okay, so that cake is ready. That's going into the oven, 350 for 25 minutes maybe. Now, because I'm making cake so regularly, I have leftover icing. So if you are making cakes every so often, you might have leftover icing. I'm just gonna take some of it. I keep it in the freezer. So I took this out for a little bit. I don't know how much. This is probably enough. So I'm gonna whip this up. I mean, why not add some of this maple butter in there while it whips up? Just like, see how that turns out. A little extra fun, right? Okay, I'm going to use a hand mixer to bring this together. This is ready for when the cake is done and I'm ready to ice it. Perfect. Okay, so I will set this aside. Once that has cooked and cooled, we'll then decorate it and see if a maple cake worked out. Okay, our little cake is out of the oven and it took half an hour. So it did dome a bit. So that's probably some science issue with the change of sugar, also maybe the cake flour, but look at that. Okay, I'm gonna cut off this top bit. Oh, actually putting it on a spinner, that makes it easier. Okay, well, seeing as this is a scrap, let's see if we can taste the maple syrup. No, no, I don't taste the maple syrup, but you know what? It's actually not sweet. It's not bad. Okay, we're gonna do this as a 2-layer. You know what? Is this a hack I've just learned? I think I'm gonna trim my cakes on my cake stand and spin it around. That's so perfect. There we go. So we have 2 nice layers. Let's decorate. So seeing as those cakes don't taste super mapley, I'm going to add some of this maple butter. This is our maple butter from our local little farm out this way. And some of this maple sugar. Okay, let's get started. Got our cake board. Just a little bit of frosting. I think I'm gonna start getting into the habit of piping a rim of frosting all the way around. Then I'm going to add it in a little bit. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna heat this up. Okay, so I've melted this. Oh, you know what? Add that maple butter and we're gonna add that maple sugar. Just sprinkle. Oh, it smells mapley now. Little maple cake on top. I'm gonna flatten this all out, but I just wanted to add some frosting. Going to flatten this out. You know what? I would do a crumb coat, but I'm just making this for me right now for fun. So I don't think we're going to. Oh, cute little cake. Okay. Okay, this is looking pretty. We're just gonna scrape this top. I am going to, I'm gonna melt some of this. I'm gonna take some more of this butter, maple butter. I'm gonna melt it and then I'm gonna run it over top and have it drip. Heat it up. Let's see how it works as a bit of a drip. I might need to add all of that actually. Let's do that first before it hardens up too much. Okay, can I get it to go? Oh, maybe it hardened up too quickly. It's not working. Oh no. Oh, you know what? We're gonna do this as if it's a ganache on top. What was I thinking? Guys, what was I thinking? I thought I could keep the consistency but no luck. Oh, it was looking so pretty, wasn't it? Sometimes you think you have a smart idea. So let's make it a bit naked. How can we pivot? Pivot! Pivot! We'll do it a bit naked. Oh, it's slipping. Doing a bit naked. But you know what? I don't hate the top now. I definitely thought that that would work more like a drip because it was working really well, but I think I didn't heat it up long enough. I was worried if I heated it up long enough, it would get too runny, but okay, I'm not too fussed about this because this is what I want to do. Actually, I'm really okay with this because I think it's going to be quite sweet. Because I'm going to add this sugar on top. I like that. I like it. Not the prettiest, but fun. I was just thinking how it would be nice to have a little crunch on top. And I forgot that I had these laid back snacks. They are maple praline almonds. How should I arrange them? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. Alrighty, I'm going to have a slice of this. Look, it's so petite. Okay. Let's see if I'm getting much maple from it. Oh yeah, that's a maple syrup cake. Especially because of the sugar, that maple butter. Oh my gosh. Okay, wow. I don't consider myself to be a huge maple syrup fan. I like it, but it's not something I'm like, oh, no, this is good. Huh, that was really good. I'm surprised by how much I liked it actually. Those cake layers, they're like hardly any maple flavor for me. But that maple butter on the inside and putting the maple sugar, wow. I like it. If you were doing like a Sugar Shack Cabane themed night, that would be good. Oh, as cupcakes too. Core them out, add in some maple butter, do that maple frosting, maple sugar sprinkled on top. Oh, wow. I'm surprised. Wow. Well, I'll be having more of this tonight. Amazing. Okay, well, I'm still surprised by how much I liked that. Like, I really want another piece. But it's gonna be dinner time, so I have to have dinner, and then I'll have some more. Well, that just makes me feel so happy that an idea came to my mind and I decided, you know what, let's try it. And a small version like this, when you don't know if something's gonna work out, it's a nice little, I mean, a cupcake would make more sense for one person, but to do it as a cake, and I really liked that. I really like that. I'm excited to share it with Matthew. If you've liked watching this cake as much as I've enjoyed eating it, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for next week. See what I come up with next. Okay, bye.